We ended the session with, so the end of that, the agreement was I will advocate for you, but we expect you for dinner. So you returned with your entire posse, your friends, your extended friends, those people. Yeah. I'm just saying Quill's there because I like him. So everyone has appeared over at... and as the rest of the gang has been sent out from this operations room, this ready room, as such, taking over a room which you very much would have known the last time you were here as a sort of welcoming chamber. This is now very much a ready room with all sorts going on. The Viceroy sent everyone in the room out for a private conversation with her daughter, marched over to you, and then kissed your cheek and said, "You had me so worried." We'll pick up here.
I know. I'm sorry. Please understand why I had to go.
You didn't tell me.
Would you have let me if I did?
Ideally not.
Exactly.
You don't know what dangers there are out in the world, Viseara.
I know, because I've been unbelievably sheltered. I have to live my own life. I have to make something of myself.
Viseara, we have tried to protect you because you are a target. As all of us are in our positions here. And you see her eyes just dart to one of the boards. And you see a map of the city. And there's a circle, and a circle, and a circle on the board. As she says the words, "You are a target."
What is going on here? Why, all of a sudden, this looks like some sort of extended study? Why the map?
Make a persuasion check.
First roll of the day.
Mm-hmm.
First roll of the day.
No, that's a 2.
That's a 2?
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
You're not distracting from this already. You see her just, go and, make sure everything is still in place and just... Things aren't ideal here, and we are under more pressure than usual, and I am under pressure than usual. And it would have been very nice to know when my daughter was... that I wasn't dealing with this panic along with this mess.
I understand. I am sorry. I didn't mean to cause pain. In a way, I didn't really think I would be missed that much.
What gave you that impression?
Mother, you don't need me. You carted me around to do your bidding, to be part of your perfect family running the city. I had nothing. I had no life of my own. I had no friends. I had no real prospects. Malik is set to take over.
I was trying to protect you, Viseara. As you say, you have been willfully ignorant of the wider world. And you and your brother have always taken more fondly to your father, which I can understand. But you don't come from the Empire the same way that I did.
I know. I've learnt a lot while I've been gone. And I'm glad that I have.
Where were you?
I joined a group who took some young people on a wilding, teaching them about the world. And in turn, I learnt a lot from them.
You took someone on a wilding?
Yes.
Who?
Children. From some other cities.
But where, Viseara?
What do you mean, where?
Checks all the doors. Is like, who?
I don't know. We didn't really ask about the past.
Make a deception check.
Oh my god, no, this is what we were trying to avoid!
17.
We've also, the kids have given false names if they've been asked, because we gave them backstories.
Yeah. Okay. She looks at you, and I really want to take a picture of this. Because it is a natural 20.
Oh!
Damn!
Oh no!
But they're disguised.
But also in natural 20 insight is both... Your mother knows you're lying. Mother knows.
Mother knows.
But what I will say with a natural 20 also is that she reads that there's something else. There is a reason for a lie. She sort of looks you over for a minute and you're protecting them.
That is what I was tasked with.
Is it complete?
In a manner of speaking, yes. But they are staying with us for the time being. We've grown rather close.
They should be kept in the house.
Thank you. Agreed.
Viseara, this is... She gets real close and, like, just has her arm, like, she's touching and you just see a moment of, like, your hair is completely free. And you just see her, like, clock it and just...
I like it like this.
I know. Doesn't matter. Your friends... We have had some difficulties in the city with an underground movement since you have been gone. Dignitaries have been killed. She looks over at the map where you see 3 indications. There is always an undercity with every city, something that we have tried to protect your brother and yourself from the realities of what it takes to run a region such as Orvos. Over the last, well, the first was before you left, and we've had 2 since. Important visiting oversight has been targeted, and we have failed, and the Empire has taken note.
Do you know who's behind it?
Semblance of an underground movement. All we know so far is something to do with the King's coin. But, Viseara, if we don't stop this, Orvos as you know it, the garrison will come from Anu Tol, and they will end it.
I want to help. We can help.
How?
I don't know, but if I told you everything that we've been through over the last few days, I think you'd be rather impressed, Mother.
Well, I need information. It's the greatest currency that we can work with. Go get your friends.
I go to the door, open it. You're all...
Yeah, glass through the door.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So-
just like stretching.
The door opens
Yeah.
and I just go, oh, it's getting a lot clearer. It's getting a lot...
Are you ready to meet my mother? Come on in.
You see your mum has gone to the far end of the room again, near sort of the main, conspiracy board, for lack of a better, it's full strings and, like, them trying to, I think as you have that previous piece of information, they are in a ready room trying to deal with whatever is going on in the city. You see she is, like, retying her hair back into, like, the tightest knot. They're very opposite of you. But as you walk in, so just the 4 of you?
Yeah, or will we bring the...
Would that not take... If you've just opened the doors and said, come in, is it not a bit odd if we turn around and say,
You guys do it.
we're outside again?
Yeah, I think we take them with
Maybe
us.
you could tell them a little bit about who they are.
Or not. We could not do that as well.
Maybe it's a good thing because she's on your side. And
Is she?
Is she, though? I
Is
know.
she? Question mark.
Do we really know what her
Do
motivations
we
are?
know?
And I don't know... Well, yeah, no, it's just that we don't know if we're now helping the underground movement of bringing in all of this stuff. We're not really sure which side we're on. Or I'm not.
Yeah, we don't know the arms we've just smuggled in to what that's assisting, whether that's assisting these return. There's a lot. There'll need to be a team talk, won't there?
Yeah.
But none of us know anything about... Oh, what did we did through the wall, through the door?
Perception checks for you 3,
Did
please.
we decipher the...
I'm going to say with disadvantage because you're listening through a door, right? That seems fair.
I think it should be advantage.
2, and you took the
21.
lowest.
I got a 19 and a 17.
There we go. This is why.
I rolled 2 twos.
Elven
Two
ears.
twos.
Elven ears.
12. Oh, it's not bad. Sisyphus,
Probably
Korea
gonna happen,
is copying you, and Korea has taken to your backpack. So Korea is now like crambling over your head, like that very toothless thing, like standing on, and you're like,
Putting its like little on your
yes,
ears.
yeah. And you are trying so hard not to shout out in like as you're peeling off.
Silently screaming.
Yeah. That's totally what's going on. I will say
The poor servant, the guy that's out just watching in horror.
Yeah.
A frog is silent.
As this is all going on, there are servants who are sort of standing. Servants, is that the right word? Like waiting staff who are sort of standing there just observing and like.
Have they ever seen a bullywug before?
You don't know. They're not acting like about it.
Sure.
But you know,
Yes.
there's lots of different races and species of people around.
Yeah.
So it was a 12 and a 21. You get a sense of the tone of the conversation. I think you can walk into this room with an understanding of the relationship and the moments of slightly heated, but the moments of care, and like you catch some of the relationship side of the mother-daughter relationship going on here. I'll say with 21, you hear about the situation in Orvos. I think you overhear the chat on there have been a couple of assassinations. You get that bit, and you get the relationship side of things as well. So you've got a pretty good handle on like most of what has happened for the massive elves, massive ears.
Massive ears.
Rabbit ears.
Faye, like outwards, we were like, hold on.
The sonar did.
So,
Glad I used my good rolls nice and early in the episode.
The dissidents aren't coming in with us? Or
Yeah, they are
shall
coming in with us.
And you're bringing in the
all
dissidents
going
as
in.
well.
Yeah.
And also Quill, who is also with us.
Yeah, cool.
I'm going to regally bow with my historical dance training.
Very good.
Mother, this is Sisyphus Jones and his career. This is Al. This is Aelwyn. And this is Enid, Connor, Fred, and Tam. And Quill.
Pleasures. All. I am led to understand you have accompanied my daughter as of late.
Indeed. I was the one that recruited her.
Recruited?
Well, she was looking for work and I took her on.
As part of this wilding?
Indeed. I have to say, she was exceptional and an indispensable member of our team.
Looking over the... we're just going to have a little roll here.
Why did you roll in front of the board?
So you can see it as well.
Well, make sure he's not lying.
13.
Because he's not lying.
Plus whatever.
She looks over the 4 dissidents, and you can just... There's a way that your mother can like look at anything and get like she is a creature of like information. Knowledge is her power in this city. Knowledge of what's coming into the city. Knowledge of what she's sending back to the Empire. Knowledge of what's moving and what's happening. Like that is her currency. And you just see as you give all these 4 names, and she just looks over them, and she pauses on Flint and pauses on Enya. Doesn't say anything. Make insight checks, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
She likes their noses.
That is
For my collection.
16.
21.
18.
I got an 18 too.
18's... She's thinking something, but choosing not to say anything about it.
Right.
You get recognition. And yet stays quiet. And I will say with this, looks at it, says hello after you introduce them with their names, and she turns and looks at you and keeps her mouth shut. So, my daughter tells me that you have some information that may be valuable to me. I am so far keeping this door shut as for this private conversation, but I have a team. I would be quite interested in perhaps knowing some of this once you have perhaps shared with me all of what is to be said.
I have made extensive diagrams, but honestly, the direwolf anus and the bullet anus look very similar, although diameter does vary. But if you go in with one arm, you will end up swimming into the bullet.
I don't think that's what she means.
Would you like to know about my memoir? What are we talking about then?
Orvos has had some trouble recently with dignitaries being
targeted.
Quite. There is an underground movement springing up against the Empire.
Yes, they have an anti-empirical belief system, it appears.
That sounds bad.
So what are you doing here?
Just
deception?
Hiding?
Yeah. Okay.
Hiding in plain sight?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm performing though?
No.
Maybe.
Playing the role of a good Empire boy.
Let's just gonna look at my spells real quick. It's a 13, which I'm not too happy about.
As you start saying this, she has just turned, just completely clocked and missed this bit. She rolled a natural 1. You lucky son of a bitch. Yeah, she sort of got lost. It was the anus. She is totally just gone, just 1,000 yard stare, and is just completely not looking at you anymore, depending what you're talking about.
Never has she come into contact with information she didn't want. And yet
yes, today is the first time. Yeah.
That's something I didn't want to know.
I'm not sure we have much information to share. But
Well, I'd be keen to hear what has happened to you over the last 3 weeks, and if these are your companions upon this wilding, I would be curious to hear what you have learnt.
Well, we defeated some were-rabbits, a bothy that came alive,
A direwolf.
a direwolf, a land shark creature,
A bullet.
and thus our fighting skills really have improved quite drastically over the last few days. So if you need help around the city, I'm sure we can assist.
As grateful as I am for 8, 9 additional arms, if you're coming to me with 100, perhaps you would have what I need in terms of arms. I'm curious about information, Viseara. What have you seen?
Well, we're rather adept at infiltration, so we could be of some use there.
She sort of takes a moment and a contemplation, and if this is your skill set, then maybe. We've had little success in either finding out or engaging with a discussion with this organization or movement. And looks at the doors and makes sure that it's very much... We are dealing with a situation of... and there's a number of you in the room here, so she's being a lot more cautious with how she's saying things. The position that Orvos has enjoyed has been that of relative independence. We pay our tithes, we follow the rules, but we've governed ourselves. However, as of late, the dissidentary behaviour has caught the eye of the Empire proper. If I can't stem this, I will be replaced by someone who will, with very different means. Make an insight check.
14.
10.
18, I think. The screen's just died.
21.
Yeah, 18.
There is a very real concern that she has. I think you two would pick up. She is tired. The bags, she's exhausted. She's been working. I think you pick up that this ain't a normal. This has just been clear the room. It's near enough the front door that there are people coming and going. You get the sense of this is bandaging. This is like, how do we just stem the flow of like I said, tourniquet, you know, like just fucking just stop the bleed just somehow. She's not equipped for this. Like, this is not the administrative leader of an organization. Like Orvos is not a military state. You don't like have a standing army or anything like that, and you never really had. I think that's part of what you would know as well to be why Orvos was absorbed in the way that it was. So very valuable to the Empire, but not in that kind of like, cool, we'll stamp it out. It's not really the Orvosian procedure. What I'll say with the 21 you pick up on, she cares. She is concerned of what that would do to the city. I'll say with the 21. Like, you see an administrative person who's very much talking of this kind of stuff. Maybe it's the lack of sleep. Maybe it's the state of seeing her daughter again, who she thought was missing, and now she's back. And then this is all going on. From her dress, from her hair, from like everything that she's done. This is like someone who has put herself together, who is kind of falling apart the seams slightly, but pretending very much that everything is fine, but we have this issue that we have to deal with. You get a sense of care you maybe didn't expect.
Would I have any knowledge of my mum, like, in terms of her allegiance to the Empire? I'm just trying to figure out whether or not we can trust her. Like, if we told her all about Tide, whether it's so difficult. I don't know.
Well, I think maybe if we were to...
Well, you can't all have this conversation. If someone wants to make a choice in this moment, you're welcome to. But you are in a room with her, so this is where we are at the moment. If you would like to make a check of some kind, what are you trying to find out?
I'm trying to find out if... So she obviously wants the best for Orvos, but whether or not she's kind of on the Empire side or would be almost like willing for Orvos to be taken over by some kind of movement, but still then be strong in and of itself. Like, so she cares for Orvos, but on which side?
I'll say roll me an insight check.
Come on, I need to know this.
Yeah.
Can someone... No one can help, really, because it's like happening...
I'm having very similar thoughts.
Yes.
I'm trying to decipher whether this person might unite with the voice of the people or is truly on the side of no.
That's 21.
I daydream. I don't involve myself.
I will say, so I don't like to do cannoning checks, but I think off your last check that spurred a new thought for you, so I will allow you one more insight check to take that line of questioning you got from your previous insight to then be like, is this a trust? So I'll let you do this independently, so one more insight check.
Congratulations on your 21.
Yeah, it is a DC 20.
Oh.
No? Okay.
Don't talk about it.
This is your mum. And I think with an insight, you have been, I don't know, like you tell me, but I have imagined Viseara up in like part of her tower. Was a room kid and thought of herself as this role and always being told, you know, like tie your hair back, make sure that like look proper, be a proper child, like all this kind of stuff, because you were having this sort of change that was happening because of your connection with the lady. You, with a 21, get the sense that I think it spurs a history in you. Your mother was from the Empire proper, like mid-rim, and she took what would largely be considered a significant step down in station to become a regional governor for like one of the last places that was like it's not even considered as part of like the Empire. It's like the first like expansion outside the Outer Rim in, you know, hundreds of years, right? As the sort of ascent of like conquest slowed with the Empire's history. And then she married, very much from a political point of view, this line, even though it has absolutely no power anymore, but married into that. It was a very symbolic sort of like actually get to do something. And I think combine that sudden just memory of that and looking at what happens in this organization, you didn't want to have a part of it. I think you just stayed away from anything. And now for once you're suddenly trying to see, how does my city work? How does any city work? Like, I think you think back to running into Florin from the monsters and the magical creatures out in the wilds and being like, this is a bastion of safety. And I think you look at your mum in this moment and the concern and everything you've had so far and think, or at least it's a question of maybe she came to Orvos and lost a bit of the Empire and took on a bit more Orvos. Mm-hmm. And you don't know for certain, but of all the Empire figures you've met, you're seeing a care which your dad is a healer. He cares for people. Maybe a different kind of messaging has taken root.
You care very deeply about Orvos.
Of course I do. It's my duty.
I know. But it is more than that. We do have some information. When we were in Florin, we stayed with Baron Tide. He's a lovely man. And we rode into Orvos with some wagons carrying some goods.
Flowers!
From him to here.
Quill.
Yes, hello.
What do you make of all this?
he's like not writing behind his back. I'm not taking a record.
Quill, why don't you tell us a bit more about how you came to be here? You know, as an investigative journalist.
So as you spoil his spot in front of the fucking Viceroy, his little like, but if he could flush, he would. His spine sort of go. And he's like, Viceroy, as I have been announced, I am an independent journalist, and I come here to examine the city. And the Viceroy is just like beginning to fume just a little bit. Just like you can almost sense the wind, like in proximity is like beginning to as he is like, we heard there was corruption in the city, and like straight up like looking up at her goes for it. We heard there is unrest and corruption, and it is my duty to come and reveal the truth. Well, I thank you for your candor. Please get out. Glares at you and like sad little hedgehog man. A secret meeting of closed doors, and someone told her there was a journalist.
And we've given away what we're doing. Do I need to roll to avoid the death of an aneurysm?
Yeah. Roll a D100.
I don't have one.
I do.
A D100?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 10s.
2 10s.
2 10s?
Yeah.
There you go.
2 10s.
Yeah. So what you got?
Of course that would be a D100.
Yeah, so it's got a double number on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course that'd be 100.
So use this diamond.
Such simple maths. 49.
49? Okay,
Yeah.
You don't have an aneurysm.
Can I have my dice?
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, we're about to spend this diamond real quick.
Your revolutionary frog gets ousted in front of the fucking queen.
We're doomed.
You said 3 of your people had been killed.
Not my people. Dignitaries from the Empire, who were under our protection and targeted.
Who were they and why?
We had a minister, a member of the clergy.
Recently?
Yes, within the last 3 weeks.
Okay, I think I was just trying, she's just trying to gauge whether it's Thesis or not. It's not Thesis, that's good.
No, but what she says is there was a member of the clergy who was on administration who was killed. There was a member of the administration. And recently we had a military leader who was visiting from Anu Tol for some time off. You all clock that it is the 3 prongs of the power structure of the Empire that has been targeted. A member of the church, a member of the military, and a member of the administration who has come to Orvos from the Empire proper, and whilst in there, targeted.
They were all killed in the same way?
No. Various means.
So how do you know they're connected?
It is our suspicion that high-ranking individuals from the mid-rim and beyond of the Empire don't come out to a regional district like this and then suddenly, accidentally, with guards. It doesn't happen.
Unless the Empire was looking to shift off some officials they didn't like anymore to justify some sort of further takeover.
What do you mean?
I'm just spitballing, playing the hoopla, but if I was to put myself in the shoes of the Empire and I wanted to seize further control here, I might send some dignitaries I didn't mind going missing. Then I might see they go missing so that I could come and investigate in force.
Sort of takes a moment, saying, it's not impossible, given what we currently know. We have yet to have any contact with this underground movement. They have struck, and it is only through the administrations of a high cleric that we are able to ask a few questions to learn what we did.
Perhaps, as we're new to the city, and our faces are less familiar, we'll have a better chance of infiltrating this organization.
She has a moment of just looking at Viseara, and can't say I don't see the tactical advantage of this. Very well. If this is something that your group may seem outfitted to accomplish, I would ask that we've not had conversations. We know their means, but we don't know their motives. If this can be resolved without further bloodshed, it'll be the benefit of all. Because if they continue in how they are doing this, we will have the wrath of the Empire down on the city.
Are any of the deceased from Orvos, or is it only Empire?
Only Empire. Which is what has got us so worried, and I have had instructions to deal with it, or I will be dealt with.
Are there any further people that are of concern who might be targeted?
Well, we have recently, this evening, been informed that a high cleric of Sol has returned to the city.
This is?
Yes.
We travelled with him.
This story gets more convoluted by the day. Yes, Thesis has been, I don't mean requisitioned, what's the word I mean? Taken inside the church, and I believe the clergy have made it very clear that they intend to keep him exactly where they can keep sight of him at any given point. Of the current dignitaries in the city, he is the most high-ranking. He is an influential figure of the government, of the clergy. Decorated career behind him. If you say this is a companion of sorts?
Yes.
We were a combative words gone.
We had dinner
Elwyn
with her,
can't
right?
talk.
Yeah, it's hard.
Elwyn
We get on
cannot
with it.
speak. We protected them. We were
So you have a favour
hired
to
as
ask.
protection for him. So we could, in theory, go
I saved
to
him from the belay.
If we could have a meeting of 3 factions, a representative of the Empire, of a high-ranking position in the Empire, a representative of the city, and this faction, that could be a means to have this. It isn't just a one-to-one confrontation, that we might have a discussion and an end to this bloodshed. Yes. If you can facilitate such a thing, then maybe we're in with a shot at ending this before it's out of our hands.
I shall ask Thesis.
Yeah, the soldiers outside the walls, do they outnumber those loyal to Orvos?
No. Orvos is an empire state. We gladly serve the empire, but those who are of Orvos are under my jurisdiction. The empire's military has been moved over from the garrison at Arnu Toll as an additional means, and as I take it, a means of reminding me of what is awaiting my failure.
But they don't outnumber your current resource of arms.
My arms are a city watch. These aren't Empire-trained soldiers. If it came to a conflict, let's not let it come to a conflict.
So what are our next steps? What would you like us to do?
Well, it seems that you're proposing that you might take a means of trying to meet or indoctrinate yourself somehow with this organization. Perhaps there you can advocate for, once you are meeting with its leaderships, a discussion, a meeting between our leadership and theirs, perhaps facilitated by Thesis.
Tan went here.
Tan.
Yes. Tan.
Your mother's lips just tiny little smirk in the corner.
And Sisyphus is looking into his hands.
Yep. Gotta love how the talkie is not doing the talkie.
Yeah, so Tan is the sneakiest of all of us. So I'd like to send them ahead to scout, if that's possible.
The means of how you do this are your own.
I might have, through the theatrical scene, as we all know, there are circles that move that enjoy dancing with dissonance. I am sure I can bridge a conversation with our friends on the other side, with the people, the possible plausible enemy on the other side.
However you wish to do it, I am open to unorthodox methods. I am somewhere nearing the end of the barrel of my resources, as it were. Very well. And for the sake of expediency, this conversation comes to an end with this sort of conclusion. She goes and gets a arcane speaking stone and pulls it back and says, "This is a one-time messaging stone, which I'm going to give to you. I think you've probably used these before. One message. Once you have succeeded, let me know as soon as you do."
I shall.
Passes it over to you. One-time sending stone. Very well. Inform me of your progress when you have confirmed updates. The house is obviously welcome to you and your companions.
Where would you suggest would be a neutral place for a meeting ground?
That I leave up to you. I do not know what their position is or who they are or anything about them. That I will leave to your discretion of where you think would be most appropriate to facilitate such meeting. Okay. She, you sort of make your way over. She comes over and she kisses you on the cheek and just touches you. Make a intelligence check for me. Or just a wisdom check.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's not.
That's not.
Kind of canted on the edge of the box.
It's cocked.
If it's cocked, it's cocked.
14.
I think you just feel as your mum holds you and she kisses you and you just have a little hug with mum. I don't know whether you soften at all, whether your shoulders drop a little bit.
Yeah, I think I am surprised at how happy I am to see her again. And I can see the distress that she is in, which I'm not used to. Mm-hmm. I'm so used to her, seeing her as just perfect, pristine, everything's in order, and I just feel as though I'm then just like this chaos that she's annoyed at. Mm-hmm. Whereas now she's almost, I feel for her.
I think you see as well, this is a crisis, but I think through the crisis you have revealed her position here is not stable. And you suddenly see how big the ladder above her is and what she has to deal with on the regular.
Yep.
And I think just as you feel a bit of your breeze, because your hair is just doing its own thing, I think you just feel it just circle the two of you just a little bit. And as you step away to walk away, I think you see it's pulled some of the hair out of her tight bun. And she's like, damn it! Like, puts it back and she's like, I will see you later. And she just immediately starts, like, she's always like, I think it's what she put a lot onto you, is her appearance is so much of like, so aware of how she's in her station, how she is perceived. So she has always tried to keep every strand in place, every, I think you are just seeing her body is the thing that is showing her distress, not her presentation. And you can't fake that. But the end of this conversation, the night is yours as you step out into the city to begin
cat training. 9 hours of cat training.
All right. And we will break there.
And when we come back...
And when you come back, you're going to tell me...
Career will be able to sit and stay.
We will see. That was Ethan Reed as Sisyphus Jones, Lizzie Wofford as Aylwyn, Rebecca Hansen as Viseara, Ross Green as Aldrich, and Jack Collard as everyone else. The series was recorded by Carlos Baptista de Lima and BlairTan. It was edited and designed by Jack Collard with additional music and sound designed by Michael Ghelfi Studios. The theme and credits music were composed by Odin Orn Hilmarsen. Fable of Shadow is a Phoenix Fables production, and it was supported by Kayla Delcoure as the company manager, Miranda Barril as the project lead, Calamity as the illustrator, and Vanna Reader, Maz, and Casey Powers as the transcription team. This show is dedicated to Penny. I can't thank you enough, but thank you, Penny. And while we listen to Odin's awesome outro, can I entice you to come join our flock on our Discord? There's a load of exclusive events on their way, live streams on Twitch, interviews with the cast and friends of the show, and much more coming to get involved with. It's an awesome place to be, and we'd love to have you with us. Next episode will be live in 2 weeks. We'll see you then.
I thought we were fucked when the mum found out that we had brought some stuff in for Tide. I thought that was like, mum thinks we're the bad guys.
I don't know, because I have a feeling that she's not 100% sure what's going on either, and wants to do the right thing for.
Also, it's a lesser evil situation going on right now.
Yeah. Also, I'm glad that I said about Thesis, because that's actually handy.
Thesis was great.
Good,
Thesis was great.
Because then actually it shows like, we came in with somebody very important as well. Like we have status too.
Yeah.